Liverpool are preparing for Wednesday night's Premier League clash, with high-flying Sunderland at Anfield, though Arne Slot will once again be without several key players as the Reds attempt to build on their much-needed win over West Ham. Slot confirmed in his Tuesday press conference that Conor Bradley has returned to team training for the first time, but is still some distance from being match-ready, while Jeremy Frimpong is expected to rejoin the group next week, after recovering from the muscle problem that has sidelined him since October. Both players have missed a run of games that forced Slot to improvise at right-back, using Dominic Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones and Joe Gomez in the position across recent fixtures, and their absence has left Liverpool navigating a congested period with limited defensive options. Slot stressed that Bradley's reintegration would be handled with care, while Frimpong is set to miss at least 3 more games despite progressing well. Long-term casualty Giovanni Leoni remains unavailable after tearing his ACL earlier in the season, an injury suffered shortly after his impressive debut. Slot admitted the young defender has been in a difficult place, as he faces around a year on the sidelines, describing the setback as particularly cruel for a player adapting to a new country and league. Liverpool's opponents are facing issues of their own, with Sunderland manager Regis Lebris confirming that Mohamedou Habib Diarra remains out following groin surgery, while Noah Siddiqui is expected to feature despite suffering a painful facial injury in their dramatic win over Bournemouth. Dennis Sirkin and Leo Hjelde, meanwhile, are nearing full fitness after featuring for the under-21s. Wednesday's matchup arrives at a pivotal moment for Liverpool, as they seek to determine whether Sunday's win at the London Stadium marked the start of a genuine resurgence, or merely a temporary pause in a difficult run. Their 2-0 victory over West Ham ended a 3-game losing streak and relieved some of the pressure building around Slot, whose bold decision to drop Mohamed Salah and start Alexander Isak paid off when the Swedish forward scored his first Premier League goal for the club. Cody Gakpo's late strike sealed the result, though controversy surrounded Lucas Paqueta's red card, which tilted the contest in Liverpool's favour. Slot afterwards insisted Salah still has a major role to play, but the Egyptian's omission only fueled speculation as the Reds try to re-establish momentum. Liverpool enter the fixture 8th in the table, just 3 points behind third-place Chelsea and within touching distance of the top 4. Yet Sunderland arrive on Merseyside with confidence soaring after a historic victory. Lebris' side overturned a 2-0 deficit to beat Bournemouth 3-2 at the Stadium of Light, marking the first time in 188 attempts the club has come from 2 goals down to win a Premier League match. Their performances this season have stunned many, keeping them 6th in the table and above Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham and Newcastle, while matching Brighton's tally. That form, combined with their energy and ambition, makes them one of the most dangerous newly promoted sides the league has seen in years. Liverpool's own record against promoted teams at Anfield is formidable, 12 straight league wins, but Sunderland's resilience, intensity and ability to score late have ensured Slot's squad are under no illusions about the threat they pose. The Reds remain favourites, but Wednesday's encounter is set against the backdrop of injuries, selection dilemmas and the need to prove the West Ham result was more than a brief reprieve. With Bradley and Frimpong still unavailable, and Salah's role under renewed scrutiny, Slot enters the match balancing optimism with caution, as Liverpool attempt to climb back toward the Premier League summit while navigating one of the league's most surprising contenders. Jamie Carragher has firmly dismissed the suggestion that Steven Gerrard could replace Arne Slot at Liverpool, insisting the club would struggle to find a better head coach than the Dutchman, despite their worst run of results in more than 7 decades. The pressure around Slot intensified sharply before Sunday's crucial trip to West Ham United, with 9 defeats in 12 matches and 6 losses in 7 league games, raising questions over the team's direction and prompting fresh speculation about the manager's future. Slot, however, vowed to fight on after holding talks with senior figures at Anfield, and Liverpool responded with a resilient performance in London, as second-half goals from Alexander Isak and Cody Gakpo delivered a much-needed 2-0 victory. Slot has remained backed internally throughout the difficult spell, but that has not prevented rumours from circulating around potential successors, including a sensational return for Jurgen Klopp just a year after his departure. Gerrard, a Champions League winning captain and one of the club's greatest ever players, has also been mentioned in some quarters. Carragher, though, believes such talk is misplaced and premature, stressing that the overwhelming desire within the fan base is for Slot to stabilise the team and restore momentum. Speaking on the overlap fan debate, Carragher explained that the meeting with West Ham felt like the most demanding fixture of Liverpool's recent run, despite facing sides in the relegation battle. He argued that failing to take points from the lowest placed teams would raise deeper concerns and emphasised how rare it is for Liverpool to even consider replacing a manager who has previously won the Premier League. He questioned the logic of an interim appointment, pointing out the lack of obvious candidates and the disruption it could cause during an already fragile period. When pressed directly on whether Gerrard could return to Anfield as head coach, Carragher was unequivocal. He highlighted Gerrard's mixed managerial record at Aston Villa, his successes at Rangers, and his strong relationship with the club, but insisted there is no indication Liverpool are considering him. He stressed that supporters remain committed to seeing Slot succeed, even amid an alarming slide, and said the real question now is how long the club can endure the current form before calls for change grow louder. Slot made a bold call ahead of the West Ham match by dropping Mohamed Salah and handing Isak a rare start. The Swedish striker, whose £125 million summer move from Newcastle was one of the most high-profile deals of the window, had scored only once in the Carabao Cup before his strike in London. Carragher believes too much has been made of Isak's disrupted pre-season, suggesting the explanation has been overused. Drawing from his own experience, he argued that players returning from injuries during the season do not receive a pre-season either, yet are still expected to adapt quickly, after only a few weeks of training and a reserve appearance. He warned that using a lack of pre-season as a constant reference risks providing players with excuses rather than solutions. Liverpool's win at the London Stadium relieved some of the immediate pressure on Slot, but the scrutiny remains intense as the club attempts to rebuild confidence, rediscover rhythm, and avoid further damage to their campaign. Despite the difficult period, Carragher's message was clear. Replacing Slot is neither the expectation nor the intention, and the club's focus remains on stabilising under the current head coach rather than turning to icons of the past.